YNW Melly might have to stop making music because of what's going on in his court case. If you're a fan of YNW Melly, make sure you watch this video all the way through. His entire career could be on the line. We've also got some brand new updates about the case that you'll definitely want to hear. Also, if you're a supporter of YNW Melly, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to join our iPhone X giveaway. Now, YNW Melly, the artist behind hit songs like Mixed Personalities and Mama Cry, might have to end his rap career because of serious legal trouble. As I mentioned earlier, we've just received new information and evidence about his case, and it could have a big impact on what happens next. Before I get into what the new evidence means for his future and how long his sentence could be, let me walk you through the timeline of his case. If you already know the full story, feel free to skip ahead using the timestamp on screen. So let's rewind. YNW Melly turned himself in back in October, posted a photo on Instagram and wrote this in the caption: "To all my fans and supporters, no, I did not get locked up in Washington, but I am turning myself in today. I want you all to know that I love you and appreciate every one of you. A few months ago, I lost my two brothers to violence, and now the system wants justice. Sadly, a lot of lies and rumors are being spread, but don't worry, God is with me and my brother. Remember, it's YNW family forever. I love you. You free us." Now, there are a lot of things in this case that point to Melly being guilty, but the one thing working in his favor is that the case still hasn't been fully solved, even after all this time and money. The court won't keep spending resources on a case if they can't prove exactly what happened to YNW Sackchaser and YNW Juvie. In case you didn't know, Sackchaser and Juvie were Melly's childhood friends. They grew up together, went to middle school together, and struggled through tough times. Melly even talked about it in his YouTube documentary. Sadly, both of them were killed, and that's what led to this whole legal situation. Passed away was apparently YNW Sackchaser, and YNW Juvie were in the backseat of a car where YNW Melly and his friend YNW Borland were driving. So basically, allegedly, there was a drive-by that happened, and only Juvie and Sackchaser were hit. And allegedly, this is what YNW Melly said was the fact that they only targeted the back seat, because allegedly that's where they thought YNW Melly was, but he was actually in the front seat, and that's why the front seat, I guess, didn't get touched, because apparently Melly was supposed to be in the back seat. Honestly, this is all really confusing to me. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's really confusing to the court as well. This is why there has been no progress on YNW Melly's case, because this is so out of the ordinary. Like, we have no idea what's going on sooner or later. Honestly, the court is probably they're just gonna come to a verdict, whatever. They're gonna use the evidence that they currently have, which I will be going into detail here in a second, so make sure you guys keep on watching, but still win. WM Ellie will most likely be doing some time for this, even though he already has. But let's just jump on into the evidence right now. Now, sooner or later, YNW Melly's case will go on trial, and if the court is in the same spot that they're in right now, then YNW Melly will be getting released, just for the simple fact that there is a lack of evidence on the court side. But with the new evidence that they just found, this could all change. Right now, I am going to be going through the evidence that the court currently has on YNW Melly, and then we'll discuss it a little bit afterwards. Right now, I'm going to be going through the evidence that the court currently has on YNW Melly. I will start with the little evidence first and save the best and new evidence for last. So make sure you guys keep on watching this video. But this evidence actually is going to be starting with the stoplights for the street cameras. Now, the street cameras at all intersections actually have they all have cameras inside of them, just in case you didn't know. And the law actually watched all of the street cam footage and found out that there was actually never a car that drove by YNW Melly's car and did this crime. Now, this in general just puts major suspicion for this, because if there was no car that drove YNW Melly's car, then how did this all happen? How did a drive-by happen if there was no evidence that a car drove by them and did this? I mean, there are tons of counters that could actually go towards this evidence, though this is why this is first on the list. I mean, one of the counters easily is just maybe they were driving maybe down a side street when this all happened. So obviously there's no cameras down there, but still they are working on that right now. This is currently one of the top priority pieces of evidence that they are trying to solve. Now, the next bit of evidence that they currently have is some text messages that YNW Melly had with his girlfriend at the time. There are messages on YNW Melly's cell phone on the Snapchat messenger thingy where YNW Melly told his girlfriend just days before the incident and when they passed away that he no longer trusted Sackchaser and Juvie anymore, and that they've been kind of acting a little bit funny and strange around him lately. In case you are unaware, YNW Melly has major trust issues with people, so maybe that is kind. of why he felt that kind of a way about Sax Chaser and Juvie, but it still kind of just doesn't make sense about like how he would be saying these things to his girlfriend and then little do you know, they both end up being taken out. It's actually a very scary situation. But one thing that can counter this, and if I actually do kind of have a feeling it will kind of go this way, is YNW Melly will use the fact that he does have mixed personalities in court now, just in case you actually have no idea what I'm talking about. YNW Melly's song Mixed Personalities was actually inspired by himself, because that's what he actually has now. YNW Melly has a side to him named Melvin, which basically protects YNW Melly or just Melly in general. So basically what will happen is YNW Melly will never be Melvin in person. But if you do something mean to YNW Melly, hurt his feelings, or even try to, you know, steal something from him or whatever the case might be, then you have to deal with Melvin now. These are some exact words that YNW Melly did say in an interview that he did on YouTube. You do not want to mess with Melly because it will bring out Melvin. And maybe that is what happened with South Chaser and Juvie. Maybe they did something that didn't sit right with YNW Melly, which is why he texted his girlfriend saying that he no longer trusted them. And then this is where it brought out Melvin. And then this is what happened. I mean, anything is a possibility at this point. Because the fact that nobody knows really what happened, so that actually could be a theory now leading into the next piece of evidence, is actually there was a bullet casing that was found inside of the car that YNW Melly was in. I mean, this right here is honestly kind of a good giveaway that the crime actually happened inside of the car. Because in case you are unaware how a firearm works, is once you fire it, there's a little casing from the bullet itself that flies out of the back. So it pretty much lands wherever you use it from. You've probably seen it in movies when, you know, people have these big firearms and stuff like that, and it's just going, like there's casings just flying everywhere. That's basically how it works. But if it was found from inside of the car, then I mean this right here is kind of a clear giveaway that it happened inside of the car. So meaning YNW Melly, most likely, you know, there is a huge possibility obviously that he did it himself, because the one there was never a car that drove by YNW Melly's car to Snapchat messages that he had with his girlfriend. And even this new information about YNW Melly's mom of a video clip that I will be showing you here in a second, but still YNW Melly with having this found inside of the car, the casing. This could only mean a couple of things. Either the casing was already in the car prior, or then YNW Melly actually did it. I mean, it's something that we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now I'm about to show you some new evidence that the arm might be using in court. This is all allegedly as well of YNW Melly's mom talking about Sax Chaser from battle ago. It was roughly about a year or two ago, but still, here's the clip.
Text messages from Sax Chaser threatening all her friends and all these people like he's about this life. But I'm sitting here like, who the f you ever robbed? Who the f you ever shot at? What the f you ever did? Down, and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me. In the day, Melly is my child, and he is gonna be great.
So there you have it. That is mostly all the evidence that the court has currently on YNW Melly. If you guys think personally he will be getting locked up, make sure you guys comment down below your reasoning on why. But anyways, guys, it has been District Trending, and I am ending the video here. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Peace.